Hi everyone, I am Sanjam Sachdeva and you are listening to the inspirational podcast called Chords. So for today's podcast, we have with us a very quirky graphic designer named Varun Jaiswal. He is graduated from NIFT Delhi and has worked with multinational companies like Dell, Civent, and now working as a lead graphic designer for Mercer, India. Along with that, he has launched his design studio named We Create. So let us welcome Varun Jaiswal and get our story of inspiration for today. Hi Varun, how are you doing?
Hey Sanjam, I'm doing well. Hope you are good too.
Yes, I'm absolutely perfect. So it's a pleasure for us to have you with Chords. So what is your story of inspiration? What inspired you and who is Varun Jaiswal? We would love to hear that.
Okay, born and brought up in Delhi. My name is Varun Jaiswal and I have been a graphic designer since the last 6 years
Right,
of the time.
right.
And I have passed out from a very prestigious college which is NIFT Delhi. And my first stage of inspiration was my college itself because working with a lot of designers around me inspired me to become a designer myself.
Right.
And after my college, I have been lucky enough to be working with some pretty good organizations like Cvent, and currently I'm employed with Mercer Consult. So, inspiration behind starting my own studio is that my family has been into a job culture since ages. So, I wanted to do something different and something out of the box and wanted to establish myself as a independent designer.
Okay.
But so I will like to just add to this that the journey is still going on right now. I would say I've just started for the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been able to execute some good projects, which is helping me achieve my dream bit by bit.
Right, right. So currently you're working in a multinational named Mercer India as a lead graphic designer. And I've
Mhm.
seen that in your We Create design studio, you're creating very fun-filled or very quirky design elements in your graphic design. So what inspiration do you take and what style brings you that fun or quirky element? If my listeners would love to hear your story on that.
So there's a pretty interesting idea behind this.
Right.
In my personal nature, I'm a very humorous kind of a person. I
Yeah.
like to joke a lot with people and
Right.
try to make funny jokes and keep people smiling around me.
Okay.
So I just thought, why not add my humor to my artworks?
Oh, that's
So
pretty interesting.
apart from my professional website design and graphic design work, sometimes I create my own artworks, but there's an edge to it. Like I like to make my artworks on digital platform.
Okay. All
So
right. So
yes,
you display your artwork on Instagram, right?
yes, Instagram I think is a great canvas these days in which
Right.
you can tell your art story to the whole wide world, not
Right.
only just
So
India,
listeners
but
can
to the whole world.
right. So listeners can visit your graphic designs on Instagram.
Yes, they can, and I am very regular there, and people can see my artworks and get inspired from it, or take any ideas to make their own artworks through
Great.
those artworks.
Great. That's a very inspirational thing. So in this design world, in the graphic design world, we have many tools to do graphic designs. And people have been having a plenty and handful of graphic design tools. But what is your favorite and recommended tools, especially for the people who are starting into the graphic design?
Okay, to keep it simple, the best softwares to work on any kind of graphics that you see around the world and in your own work as well. Adobe Creative Suite is the main platform where you get all the design softwares in one place,
Hmm.
and you can design n number of ideas through different softwares like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Dreamweaver. So my favorite one is Adobe Illustrator because I like to create artwork, and also my graphic design work somewhat gets executed through that software itself.
Right. And is it necessary to have an iPad or a hardware which is like an iPad to create graphics?
I would just like to add that it's necessary to have a bright idea inside your head.
Very nice.
Platforms don't matter. Platforms can be anything. Be it a pen and paper itself. You can
Yeah.
start your idea from there. But to enhance it and make it look more professional and, in other words, brighter, you can use the computer related platforms later on maybe
Okay.
to give it an edge to make your artworks look much more colorful and enhanced.
Okay. Any online tool that you feel like is a good one, like we have canva.com or any other online platform that you recommend?
Online platforms I haven't used much, but for me it would be like Canva is one good software,
Right,
and another would be Procreate.
right,
Procreate has a mobile application as well
right.
and an online tool as well. But the online tool has less features. I use the paid version
Okay.
on which is totally independent of using over a phone or over an iPad or over your computer machine.
All right, great. That's interesting. So, particularly in this COVID times when we have a lot of time in our hands, especially for the young minds,
Mhm.
what advice or what recommendation do you give that how they can use their spare time to learn graphic designing? And what is your favorite recommendation to the audience?
So it's a very good question, and to answer this, it will be like the main and the greatest platform to learn anything these days, be it graphic design or any other industry work as well, is YouTube. YouTube is always free, and YouTube has a lot of tutorials from people all over the world sharing their knowledge, ideas, and right ideas, I would say. But to be honest with you, like my personal recommendation is the platform called LinkedIn Learning,
Okay.
because on LinkedIn Learning you have a proper career pathway and proper course platform and divisions in which you
Right,
can take up a particular path and
right,
start working towards it. And they are like very professional teacher videos there. So they give you a very easy to use learning platform.
right.
And myself, I have learned a lot of things from it.
Okay. So that's a very useful and insightful point that LinkedIn Learning is a pathway and it gives you a guided channel to learn and have a recommended skill set with you, right?
Yes, yes,
Right. It was a very interesting conversation, Varun. And we got the secrets or the quirkiness that you have in your design to creating your own design studio and then working on different softwares to the journey of LinkedIn learning. So it had been a
yes.
very nice story that we covered with you. And I hope your story would inspire many people and they would reach out to you and would recommend you as a graphic designer in the future.
I'd just like to add one last thing. It
Right.
might be a very interesting quote for everyone.
Right.
That keep designing, keep shining. That's
Right.
all from my side.
Right. So keep designing, keep shining. That is the conclusion line for the today. Thank you so much, Varun, for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sanjam. It has been a great pleasure. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yes. Stay tuned with the podcast, and we launch every Monday a new story to keep you inspired. Happy listening, Podcast Chords.